The Berkeley Prep Invitational, and tonight a clash of champions between the Jesuit Tigers, defending 5A state champions, and the Tampa Prep Terrapins, 3A winners from 2012. Hello everybody, welcome to Center Court. I'm Drew Felios, thrilled to be joined for another season by former Tampa Prep and USF star Andrick Frazier. Well, they've won the last two state titles representing the Tampa Bay area. Jesuit and Tampa Prep. Andrick, this has been a long time coming.
Really has, Drew. It's really been since the 90s as we've seen these two teams matched up against each other. A lot has changed in the last 2 years, but I can tell you what, both of these teams were really put on the show for us to begin the 2014 season.
You know, Andrick, seemed like it was just yesterday when the Jesuit Tigers had taken over the Lakeland Center. The Blue Tide put on a show just as much as the basketball team, but Jack Fleming came out firing. He was unconscious from downtown. You also had Devin Harris. A memorable season it was.
It's a memorable season, but you might as well forget it because the services of Devin Harris and Jack Fleming no longer there. You combine that with Travis Johnson, who went on to Cincinnati to play football. This is a brand new basketball team that Goldman's basically had to start from the ground up.
Yeah, it's one thing to rebuild. It's another thing when there's a total demolition, you got to start from scratch.
He has started from scratch. He has a couple of pieces that have returned to this ball club, but I tell you what, they're off to a very great start. You can't say enough about this ball club after using 7 starters from last year.
And then you've got Mr. Darce, Daniel Darce in the middle. He's a junior, can play any position on the court. He is gaining confidence.
You know, Daniel Darce is one of those key members last year. He's one of only 2 returning players that saw legitimate minutes during that state Final Four run last year. He's going to have a very big game tonight. He's going to have his hands full on the defensive side as well.
On the other side, it's your alma mater, Tampa Prep. More success than any other basketball school over the past decade, but Joe Fenland's team in 2013 came up a little bit short of where they thought they could reach.
You know, they left a very sour taste in Coach Fenland's mouth in this ball club, coming off an unbelievable run in 2012. Thought they had an opportunity to repeat, fell just a little bit short, losing a buzzer beater heartbreaker in the regional finals.
And they lost a lot of talent as well, and Josh Heath and Adonis Rabigui. But this guy is back, and Jawan Durham is pretty good.
Pretty good is an understatement, Drew. Made a couple statements last year during our broadcast against Bartow. I think he had the opportunity to be one of the best players to ever come out of the state of Florida. Jawan Durham, the #1 rated sophomore in the state of Florida, #3 rated center in the country in this class.
Sit back and enjoy some basketball tonight. From Berkeley Prep High School, the Berkeley Invitational, Tampa Prep taking on Jesuit. It's coming up next on Bright House Sports Network. Oh, what a weekend of basketball it has been here at the Strass Family Fieldhouse in the heart of Tampa. Tampa Prep and Jesuit set for this Saturday night. One of 2 games tonight on Bright House Sports Network as a traveling version of the Blue Tide is here as we take a look at the starting lineups for both teams, Tampa Prep and Jesuit. The Tigers go with Stephen Adamczyk, Kyle Salston, Christian Whitten, Daniel Darce, and Brett Fenland, the senior. And for Tampa Prep, Yoni Wasser doing a tremendous job leading this team right now. Michael Fridella, Taz Strauss, Joseph Barker, and the big man, Jawan Durham. And before we tip it off, our Central Florida and Gulf Coast Honda dealers, keys to the game.
Well, of course, Drew, the Jesuit, they're going to have to make it rain. I mean, this is a team historically that shot the basketball extremely well from the outside. Because they lack in size, they got to make sure they knock down long-range shots. And Tampa Prep really, Drew, they want to be fast and furious. They want to try to create turnovers with their length, get basketball buckets in transition, which is when they're playing at their best.
The Tigers will be wearing the all-blue tonight. Tampa Prep in the all-white. It's been a long time coming. These two programs used to clash routinely in the 90s, but Andrick, there's been a big gap between the last meeting. And tonight, here we are, Jesuit and Tampa Prep, 2 private schools. This is for not just bragging rights, but for memories down the line. If you're a big-time school, you always want to say you played Tampa Catholic or Berkeley or Tampa Prep.
I mean, we've seen this happen, Drew, especially in the larger cities like New York and Chicago, where the best basketball has been played in the private schools. And to be honest, over the course of the last 10 years, Tampa Prep, Jesuit, Berkeley Prep, and Tampa Catholic have had some very good basketball programs. And these 2 teams all come trying to carry on that tradition.
So we are underway. Yoni Wasser controlling for the Terrapins. Punch it inside, and the first shot a little bit short as Joseph Barker couldn't put it down, and here's Stephen Adamczyk the other way.
Jesuit beginning the game in a 2-3 zone. Tampa Prep in their standard man-to-man defense.
This Jesuit team built on the 3-point shot. They will let it fly early and often. Daniel Darst inside. They try and post up Durham down there, and now the Tigers reset. Darst tried to go to the rim, and they call a foul on the floor. As Neil Goldman, he's been a Jesuit a long time, 27th season, nearly 500 wins as Jesuits head coach. The only person that has been there longer at his place has been Joe Fenlon for Tampa Prep. As the first shot by Fenlon finds the bottom.
Jesuits want to be extremely patient on the offensive end. They want to make sure they work the basketball around. This is a team that's not going to take a bad shot.
Tampa Prep upset yesterday by the Community School of Naples as that shot rejected, and now Fridella knocks it down from three.
Fridella, much needed offense for Coach Finland's ball club, the transfer from St. Pete Catholic, showing you his ability to shoot the basketball from long range.
Tampa Prep has faced a lot of teams that have lived on the three-point shot. It's critical that early in the season you face teams like that, because when you're playing for a championship, you face some sharpshooters down the stretch.
You have to be able to defend the basketball and also be able to close out on shooters if you want to make your way to Lakeland.
Long shot from three, this one in and out. Tigers all over the boards, and they've got it at midcourt. Another long shot from three, and this one off the front rim. Wasser with the board. Taz Strauss kicks it out, wide open. Fridella, three-pointer is good.
Fridella filling it early on. 2 for 2 from behind the arc.
Two three-pointers from Michael Fridella, both assists from Taz Strauss. Fridella, a real streaky shooter. He had 23 points in the second half only in one game this year. Here's Brett Fenlon, kicks it out, top of the key. Daniel Darst now. The Tigers will slow it up.
It's amazing, Drew. You just see the length of Jawan Durham when he basically has 2 feet in the paint, and here you go right there again, that 7'2" wingspan coming up the steal.
Good defense, but on the other end, it's Jawan Durham, his first bucket.
Talk about young man's length and his ability to wreak havoc there. You see those arms coming up with the steal and finishing on the other end.
And for Joe Fenlon, 31st year at the helm. Look at that win total. 654, by far most of any coach in Hillsborough County right now. He's been around so long, he even coached a guy by the name of Andrick Frazier in high school.
This is a young coach that has a passion for the game. You speak of passion here. How about Fridella here showing you his ability to knock it down from long range. Here from the opposite side, feet set, ball in the shooting pocket, ready to shoot, nothing but money.
Eight to 2 here early. Steven Adamczyk running the offense for the Tigers. There's the three-pointer. Adamczyk, he can knock it down.
The ball club, you have to make them feel uncomfortable when they catch the basketball. You want to force them to put the ball on the floor because these guys spend endless amount of hours in the gym working on a jump shot.
Now from the elbow, little floater, left short. Terrapin's able to keep it alive. Tampa Prep graduated 7 of their top 8 players, 4 of their 5 starters. This is a very young ball club that is prone to making a few mistakes like that in the course of the game.
Great look on the inside, caught the wing cheating towards the passing lane to be able to catch that basketball, put it on the floor, and make the layup.
Shot by Darst is long. Now Fridella on the other end. Tampa Prep, the team gaining confidence week by week. Here's Joseph Barker. This shot is off. Lots of threes on both sides launched here in this first quarter. check, hails from Philadelphia, and he plays like it. Tremendous ball handler for Jesuit. And 20 points in that game against Plant. They punch it inside, and a nice move, Christian Witt underneath.
Jesuit run sets every time down the floor, trying to pull Juwan Durham away from the basket, getting backdoor cuts towards the rim.
Another assist by Brent Finley. Looking at Durham underneath. This is knocked out of his hands. It'll stay with Tampa Prep. Juwan Durham, a big man averaging about 70% shooting from the field. Andrew, is there any part of his game that still needs fine-tuning?
This is a young man I think, Drew, that's going to get better as time goes on, which is scary if you're the opposition at any point in time. But the other piece is that if he gets stronger, he starts to put on some pounds. We've seen him put on 20 pounds since last year. You know, and he starts to put some bulk on that frame. He's a pretty scary individual offensively.
Nice move to the rim. The floater is good. Christian Witt, another field goal. And Jesuit has the lead once more. Michael Fridella, a little bit too strong. Paul Durham just threw a defender out of the way, no call. Terrapins can't come up with it, and Daniel Darst takes down the rebound.
That was a good look that time by Durham. Fridella not able to find his range inside a three-point line. Look at the great spacing offensively by Jesuit.
Darst thought about the shot, now kicks it out. Ryan Fleming has checked into the game for the Tigers. So is Hakeem Adejumobi. Darst hits the three.
Jesuit here shooting the basketball like defending state champions, but man, playing with a lot of confidence.
Jesuit, a team that relies on their long-distance shooting. If they are hot, look out. As all alone underneath, Amari Goulburn with his first bucket.
All attention, all eyes on Juwan Durham. Good job on that offensive sequence by Goulburn, sneaking back door for the layup.
Entertaining first quarter. Adejumobi on the floor, able to get it back, and he lost it out of bounds. It'll be Terrapins' ball.
Coach Finland loves his substitution pattern when he has the opportunity to put in Ransom and Goulburn. Those two wreak havoc on the defensive end. You can see on that possession just a tremendous amount of ball pressure those two young men can apply.
Tampa Prep's biggest wins over Westwood Christian and First Baptist Academy. This would be another good one here, even though Jesuit nearly the status of a year ago. Still, the name on the front of the jersey carries a ton of weight. Here's Durham, able to keep the ball with him. Missed the shot. And the Terrapins able to get it back, and scoring is Marcus Ransom.
About the hustle there, one of those killer bees. Ransom coming up with the loose basketball in the bucket.
Ransom is like a pest every time he comes into the game with Amari Goulburn, his teammate. Here's an off-balance runner, no good. And the Terrapins with under 40 seconds to go. Durham posting up on the block, spins, and can't hit the shot. Nice rebound by Darst.
Jesuit Tigers doing a good job of playing behind Durham, making him shoot the basketball over the top.
In the corner, spotting up, and no good. Durham rips it down, now 10 seconds to play. Wide open, three-pointer on the way. Taz Strauss knocks it down.
Great things happen when you run the wings and rewarded with a full-court pass. Strauss knocking one down from long range.
So Tampa Prep with a late flurry. The makings of a good one tonight at the Berkeley Prep Invitational. Tampa Prep and Jesuit on the Game of the Week. Drew Fellio, Sandrick Frazier, great to have you with us tonight. The Berkeley Prep Invitational on the Bright House Sports Network Game of the Week. Tampa Prep with a 3-point lead over Jesuit, and a game featuring Juwan Durham, one of the top-rated players in his class in the United States.
Well, not enough superlatives you can use to go with this young man, and to be honest, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. He continues to get better. I mean, the most impressive thing I think about Juwan Durham is his humbleness and his appetite to get better. He's a kid that really wants to get better. He's a student of the game, growing up around basketball all his life, and he's going to be someone that you talk about for a very long time.
Tigers taking their time. First possession, second quarter. Juwan Durham mentioned his talents. He's got 2 points after 1 quarter of play. Now, nice fake right there. Durham went for it. But the shot still altered. Now, Adejumobi underneath. And Durham able to pull down the rebound. Durham asked for it on the block. And the two-man game with Ferdella. Nice ball movement. Strauss open. Couldn't hit. The push is called underneath. And I think they're going to get Darst. And the Blue Tide, even away from the Tiger Palace, they're going to let you know.
These guys take no breaks off. Looks like they even work during the holidays.
Usually when school is not in session, students do not turn out much for basketball games, but that's not the case at Jesuit, especially when you get a chance to suit up against Tampa Prep.
What else is there to do? I mean, there's NFL playoffs on the day, a great slate of college basketball, a couple of bowl games. You'd much rather be here watching basketball.
Of course. Terrapins now try that baseline, wide open. Joseph Parker spotting up, and the three-pointer's good.
Terrapins have not shot the basketball tremendously well from the outside, and off to a strong start in the first half. 4th three-pointer of the evening.
Taz Strauss doing a tremendous job locating the shooters. His 3rd assist as Jesuit responds. Kyle Salston has never seen a shot he didn't like.
Salston there, leaving up the gooseneck as he's jogging back to front down the floor.
Right back at you, Yoni Wasser for 2. Tampa Prep comes in with an 11-2 record. Jesuit 10-5. The Tigers victorious last night in their game against Cardinal Mooney. Here's Darst underneath. Jesuit will get another chance.
Jesuit doing a good job so far, I think, in the first half, winning the hustle points on the offensive glass.
Nice move, the spin, and the put in by Darst. He's got 5.
Type of leadership you like to see from one of your returning varsity players.
Durham, and they're going to get physical with 23 all night long. The foul's going to be called on the floor, and there's Ray Riveros, the football player, proving it right there on that play.
There's Terrapins trying to get the basketball into Durham's hand, doing a good job of keeping the ball high. And against that 2-3 zone, all eyes will go to the block once he catches the basketball.
We have not seen free throws on either side here tonight as Darst makes the steal. Darst wants it. Three-pointer is short. Durham got out there and challenged. And now here come the Terrapins. Amari Goulburn to Durham. And there is the first foul of the game. Ray Riveros to put Durham on the strike.
Good job on that dribble penetration. Amari Goulburn pushing the basketball up the floor, and it's a good hard foul by Riveros. You definitely don't want to give up an easy 2 to Durham.
Well, Juwan Durham is such a safety net for this Tampa Prep team, Andrick. When all things are failing, Coach Fenlon says, we know where we want the basketball. The big man scored 35 against Tampa Catholic earlier this season, grabbed 21 rebounds. He's got 9 double-doubles so far this year.
Definitely not a one-dimensional player, and he gives you a lot of effort on the defensive end as well, which is why those rebounding statistics are so good. And we all know it's difficult, especially in a high school basketball game where you're the marked man every night, and he is, you know, going to the services of Adonis Robigui and Josh. He helped take some of the spotlight off of him last year. He has to be the man from this point forward in his career.
Durham lost it out of bounds as Wasser tried to penetrate and get it to him. Question is, you look at him and his size, he's only a sophomore. Do you see a center at the next level? Does it matter? Is he still growing, Andrick, before we determine what position he plays?
Honestly, I mean, for him, because he has the ability to shoot and pass the basketball, I mean, he can play any one of 3 positions, I think, at the next level in college. It really just depends on what's the best fit for him. He reminds you a lot of John Henson, you know, who we got a chance to cover a few years back, but he actually shoots the basketball a lot better than John. You know, he's over a 70% free throw shooter, only as a sophomore.
Here's Fridella, had it poked away. Riveros pesky on defense for the Tigers.
Jesuit doing just a really good job in that zone. I mean, even the weak side wings are making sure they suck in.
In the corner, long shot on the way, and it's good. Michael Fridella has 9 points here in this first half.
Supporting cast for Tampa Prep, stepping up and knocking down shots. Fridella off to a tremendous start.
Fridella 3 of 3 from three-point land. Here's Fenlon kicking it out, and Salston. His shot can't find the mark. Out to Durham for the rebound is Whidden. His putback no good. Jesuit gone a bit cold here. The other side, Fridella lays it in. Timeout, Jesuit.
Drew, you think Fridella's a little upset about that loss last night, decide he wants to step up and do something about it today?
Michael Fridella was a point guard at his last school, St. Pete Catholic. He transferred in the offseason, and he went from point guard, Andrick, to learning how to play the shooting guard. What is the transition like when you're going from 1 to 2?
I mean, the biggest thing, I mean, when you're on the 2 guards, you always have to think shot first. And as a point guard, you're thinking about what's the best opportunity to get my team a basket. So it's tough to turn somebody who's been such an unselfish player into an offensive-minded person. But his ability to shoot the basketball, as we've seen so far in the first half, has been the reason why Coach Fenlon has entrusted his skills there at the 2 guard position.
It's interesting. Coach Fenlon tells him, take the shot, and even said, you can be selfish sometimes by not taking shots. So he's told him, hey, we want you to be unselfish by taking shots when they're there. We need you to score.
I mean, 2 guards, really, your offense is predicated around your 2 guard. They have to have the ability to run the floor. All eyes are on you. And the more shots he takes, the more open he's going to make things for his teammates.
There's Darce penetrating, and a nice-looking shot by Daniel Darce. He's got 7. Great to have you with us tonight. The Straz Family Fieldhouse, a great venue for basketball. This is a beautiful facility.
Jesuit extending their zone now into a trap and 2-3.
Durham out of the game right now. Tampa Prep going small. Marcus Ransom playing catch with Wasser. They try that cross-court pass, and it's picked off by the Tigers. Now on the floor, and a scramble. Darce comes away with it. On the other end, wide open. Jesuit's going to get an easy one. 6 points for Christian Whidden.
Christian Whidden was down there trying to land a 747. Tigers finally picked their head up and fouled it. Coach Fenlon coming back with a quick substitution after a couple of turnovers.
Entertaining first half of action. 5-point game. Tampa Prep 26, Jesuit 21. Playing catch, great ball movement, and Fridella easily lays it in.
Coach Gomes is going to have to make a decision on if he really wants to focus all his eyes on Jawan Durham. I mean, but right now there's so much attention on him. Jesuit leaving a lot of gaps in their 2-3 zone.
They certainly are. Here's Strauss again. Fridella beat the defense, had to save it before going out of bounds. Now the Terrapins trying to strike again. Oh, nice take. Amari Goldberg, nice body control, and the lead is 9.
Against the 2-3 zone, you want to attack against the up guard and the forward, and Goldman doing a good job of attacking that crease and getting all the way to the rim.
Jesuit's been stuck on 21 for a while. This shot short. A foul's going to be called as Brett Finland commits it. Jesuit, team that is building their offensive confidence. They do go through spurts of dry spells with their scoring. That offensive experience is what Coach Goldman called it. As soon as they build confidence in big games, getting those key buckets, Andrick, when they need them. Travis Johnson, Devin Harris did it so many times last year. They're still trying to find that guy.
It took, in all honesty, 3 years to build up the confidence in those young players to get them to where their skill sets met their confidence. And Jesuit ball clubs, I mean, they're never the shortage of anybody that can put the basketball on the floor, that can shoot it, or that can pass it. Just matching that with confidence and athleticism is just going to take some reps and some playing time for these young men to get back to that level.
40 seconds to go left in the first half. Tampa Prep will take some air out of the basketball here. Terrapins also dropped a game earlier this season in overtime, the Tampa Catholic and the City of Tampa Championship.
Talking about a duel there, and Shavarsky Corbett, who's another talent we'll get a chance to see later this year. Had a fine outing as well.
Now the Terrapins get the offense going. 6 seconds from the elbow. Nice look, and the shot made by Amari Goldberg. Final attempt, no good, but the Terrapins finish on a roll. 32-21, 6 points for Goldburn, and Tampa Prep playing well.
They are, and as you can see, there's a team right now starting off slow. They're finding their groove, riding the hot hands into the half, up 11.
Back here at the Berkeley Prep Invitational, here at halftime, Tampa Prep 32, Jesuit 21. As we usher in the new year of basketball here on Bright House Sports Network, alongside Andrick Frazier, I'm Drew Felios. Talked about all the losses for Jesuit in the offseason, trying to rebuild that championship team from a year ago. Tampa Prep lost some talent as well. Josh Heath now playing at USF, Adonis Rabigui, and you also had Fry Levy, who was very underrated.
Really was. I mean, and the biggest loss is no doubt Josh Heath. I mean, there was so much put upon his shoulders as a point guard. And in Tampa Prep's history, they've had very good point guards with Coach Finland to rely upon, you know, to pull out those tough victories. And they're missing that piece right now, but they've done a good job. You know, Yanni Wasser stepped in, and Adonis Rabig was a guy that you can count on for big-time rebounds. And you can't say enough about Fry Levy. He always guarded the toughest guy on the floor.
Yeah, and he's the toughest to replace is Levy. Even though Heath, the biggest loss, it's tough to replace that glue guy who did a little bit of everything.
Well, I mean, you have to have that guy that you know every night in and night out. You know what you're going to get out of him. He's going to shut down the other person's best player. And Fry Levy was known for knocking down big shots as well. So a lot to replace, but a lot of opportunity for these young Terrapins to step up.
All right, a full night of basketball we've got here on Bright House Sports Network. Jesuit and Berkeley Prep in progress right now. At 8 o'clock, Lake Highland Prep takes on Berkeley Prep. And then at 10 o'clock, Lake Wales battles Wekiva. So here with Tampa Prep and Jesuit, the Terrapins lead by 11. We've got more from halftime after this. Well, Joe Barry, the future North Carolina Tar Heel, starring right now for Lake Highland Prep, getting set. He'll be featured in our next game as the Highlanders take on Berkeley Prep here in this Berkeley Prep Invitational. Right now it's Jesuit and Tampa Prep, and a very exciting first half of play. The Tigers got it going from long range in the first quarter. Steven Adamczyk, the point guard, knocking down the shot, but Tampa Prep responded. Big first half for Michael Fridella.
Well, both teams right now really countering off what the other team showed them defensively. Jesuit decided to pack it in a 2-3 zone, and Fridella having the hot day early, but Jesuit really taking their time on the offensive end, you know, doing their damage from the outside as well.
Fridella from the corner here, he had 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting. And in the second quarter, Tampa Prep really stepped on the gas pedal.
Well, they have the ability, I think, to force some turnovers and also get up and down the floor, which is something they didn't do early on in the first quarter. Look at the ability of both of these teams to share the basketball, 16 assists total. You can't say enough about the unselfishness of both of these ball clubs.
Right now, the Tigers trail by 11 to the Terrapins. How does Jesuit get back in this game?
Well, I think for them defensively, they've done a pretty good job, but again, they have to make a decision. If they want all eyes to be on Juwan Durham, it's left a lot of gaping holes. At some point, if they continue to be down, they're going to have to try to pick up the pace. We saw about 45 seconds of a half-court trap. I'd like to see a little more of that from Jesuit.
It's opened up a lot of lanes for the Tampa Prep wing players to cut through. There's Mr. Darst for Jesuit. The Tigers try and cut into that lead, third quarter, right after this. Start of the second half here at Berkeley Prep, 32-21. The Terrapins over the Tigers. Johnny Wasser gets the offense going for Tampa Prep. Juwan Durham, a little bit quiet in the first half, but the supporting cast was tremendous. And it equals into an 11-point lead for the team in white. Durham only had 3 points in that first half as the Tigers continue to put a body in front of them.
Well, that is just really packing it in. Now they're in a 1-3-1 zone.
The Blue Tide chanting defense. Michael Fridella, the top scorer, 13 points in the first half. As that one knocked down by Taz Strauss. Right now, the Tampa Prep guards are shooting the lights out.
They are really busting the seams out of both zones the Tigers have displayed so far in this game.
Wide open, but Durham there to take a swipe at it, and a traveling called, and that's what the presence of the big man does.
Here again, just the patience on the offensive end, and so many eyes on Mr. Durham. Allows for Strauss to knock one down from the corner.
Now the lead is 14 after the three. Adamczyk trying to extend that defense out there. Now Fridella shakes free. Three-pointer again on the way. Strauss couldn't hit. Christian Whidden with the board. Tigers now running. Good ball movement. And the shot fake, Solston now puts it up and can't hit. Jesuit gets it back. Still looking to score. Well, that ends a long drought. Brett Friendland lays it in.
Continuous work on the offensive glass, not giving up on that possession.
Durham couldn't find the room inside. Jesuit doing a great job on him. They got to shut down the supporting cast right now.
Really good job on him on the defensive end. They have to find ways again to convert offensively.
Only 1 of 4 shooting right now for Juwan Durham. Brett Friendland doing a good job providing the help. Tough pass to handle right there. Tigers eventually come up with it. Here's Whidden. Now Darst gets by Durham. Takes it to the rim and scores. 9 points for Daniel Darst.
Knocking down long-range shots gives you an opportunity to attack the basket, and going in the building knows Darst has the ability to do that.
Here's Durham. Still not quite shooting his usual percentage. Now Darst goes for the steal and comes up with it. Adamczyk through the lane. Too strong. Now Strauss the other way. Tries to step through the defense, and a foul's going to be called. The Tigers wanted to travel.
Strauss there, I think, on the European two-step, a la Manu Ginobili. See Strauss here attacking the basket. Attempts to sidestep and clear foul, good call.
Taz Strauss, as we talked to Coach Fenlon earlier this week, saying, Andrick, that here's a young man learning how to play to his strengths and avoid his weaknesses. Said it's so common in high school basketball, players don't know exactly what their strengths are and how to emphasize those. This young man learning it.
Well, one of those things again, and last year you had such a good team, and now these guys are stepping in new roles and trying to figure out who's going to be the next whatever. And when you don't know what that next spot you need to be in, that's where coaching comes into play. And again, here's a guy that's had the ability to knock down some shots here early on to get his confidence going, doing a good job of fitting in.
There's a bomb on the way. Solston too strong. Marcus Ransom running this Tampa Prep offense right now. They punch it inside to Durham. Good inside out. Barker can't hit. Now Kyle Salston attacking. Thought about it. Now Fenlon gives it up. Jesuit very calm offensively, even though they've had some dry spells in this game. Whidden. That shot doesn't find the bottom. Look at Darce with the steal and the putback.
Darce just being in the right place at the right time. Lazy outlet pass by Durham.
It seemed like just yesterday his older brother, Andrew Darce, just a quality player for the Jesuit program. Senior year was 2007. This shot is up and good. Michael Fridella with 16 points.
Fridella is filling it from the outside. How about Juwan Durham giving up the point-blank range shot for the assist?
Darce had it knocked away. Now the Terrapins coming back. And a foul whistle. Well, right now, Michael Fridella is 4 of 4 from three-point land. He has not missed from three here tonight.
Well, good things happen on inside-out passes, and here both shoulder to square, feet are square. But you practice every day in the driveway, Drew.
Michael Fridella mentioned he had 23 against Westwood Christian. On his way to a big night here. Tampa Prep has gutted out some wins this season. There's a baseline jumper by Joseph Barker. He's got 5. Terrapins one-time trailed short press by 7 heading into the fourth quarter. Ended up winning that game by 7. This is a team that is just getting better and better as the season goes along. Right now, defensively, they have got Jesuit out of sync. Here's Strauss. Durham was the trailer, and he threw it away.
It's not a good offensive possession. I'd like to see that ball just pulled out, have an opportunity to set up offense, especially getting a steal on the opposite end.
41-27. There's our officials tonight. Rodney Dickerson, Jerome Smith, and Bobby Payton on the call. Christian Whidden, a little quiet tonight for Jesuit. Junior Ford, really their marksman offensively. Darce kicks it out, wide open. Fenlon shot is good. 7 points for Brett Fenlon.
And Fenlon has to do that. He has to make Durham honor his ability to knock down shots.
It's an 11-point game. Jesuit trying to bring it to single digits.
Fenlon really working his tail off on the defensive end.
Durham in a ball battle with Adejamobi. Are they going to call a foul on that? Yes, they will. Look like a jump ball.
Durham needs to do a better job on that catch and making sure he keeps the basketball high.
They get Adejamobi with the foul. And it'll be Terrapins ball underneath. I don't know, that looked like a jumper to me.
Good job sagging in on the defensive end by Adejamobi.
Ray Riveros is checked in the game for Jesuit. Cross-court pass. Now the Terrapins taking their time. Fridella, runner, kicks it out. Tigers able to surround him, and Darce has played just huge for Jesuit here today.
Jesuit needs to try to make a move here. Durham being out of the game, a minute left in the quarter, try to get this lead underneath 10 points.
These are the situations Coach Goldman wants Darst to really look for his shot, especially now with Durham out of the game. Tigers can't buy there, and Barker with an aggressive board. 2-on-1, and Tampa Prep gets the bucket as Goldburn puts it in.
Strong rebound by Barker and great kick ahead to Friedel. Friedel has done some damage offensively, so all eyes were on him, and nice drop-off pass for Goldburn.
Darst trying to muscle his way on the block, turned and had it ripped. Wasser over to Fridella. And now Tampa Prep could hold for the last. And the chemistry with this Tampa Prep team has just been awesome. Amari Goldberg puts in his 10th point, and he draws the foul on Daniel Darst in the process.
It all starts with moving without the basketball. Goldburn here flashes to the top of the key. Catches contact on the hip from Darst and finishes.
No real superstar playing guard for Tampa Prep this season. They just got a bunch of gritty, gutty guys. They just love to play together. That's what it looks like here watching this team through 3 quarters of play.
There's a bunch of guys that really want to be unselfish and figure out how to win.
Jesuit is still not going to the free throw line once. Coach Fenlon's team playing defense here, basically without fouling whatsoever through 3 quarters. It's been amazing. 2 seconds now, they got to get it off. Final attempt is no good. Barker had a good look at it.
Here we are going into the 4th quarter, an opportunity to see who's going to be able to exert their will. Prep up 15.
Two of the most successful Hillsborough County programs dueling tonight, Jesuit and Tampa Prep from the Berkeley Prep Invitational. There's the past 5 state titles won by Hillsborough County schools. The last 4 coming from private schools. Jesuit has won 2 of those. Tampa Prep got 1 in 2012.
And these again, the one thing that sticks out to me about looking at that list is all 3 of these schools have had coaches that have been at the helm for a very long time, and they build a tradition, they build a program, and we're about to watch a ball club next. 2 ball clubs that have 2 coaches that have done a very good job of doing the same thing, and Coach Reinhardt and Coach Turner.
Out from the top of the key is no good. Tampa Prep running again. Here's Durham. Frustrated tonight offensively. But his team has not been effective. It'll be Tampa Prep ball.
But Durham just having an off night offensively, just cannot get into a rhythm. There you can see the athleticism and the ball handling skills of the 6'9" center on that possession. Jesuit is still content with being in this 2-3 zone. Tampa Prep will take their time, not force a shot.
Biggest wins for Tampa Prep this season, Westwood Christian and First Baptist Academy. It came in the Naples tournament earlier this year. Both of these programs and head coaches, Andrick, love to take their teams on the road, especially during the holidays.
Very tough to face the type of competition they're going to need to face in order to make it to Tallahassee, to Lakeland, unless they take this show on the road.
Tigers able to force the steal. Now Daniel Darst. Fenlon out for 3. It's Salston, and he hits.
Jesuit continues to knock down shots from long range.
That's 6 points for Kyle Salston. .12-point game.
Let's see if they can force a turnover here. Tampa Prep did a pretty good job of handling the pressure.
Fridella pulls up, and Tigers able to rebound it. Let's see if Jesuit can string something together here. Tigers coming off that great showing in the Father George National Jesuit Classic, an annual tournament in Maryland. They'll stay here on the Jesuit side. Also, Jesuit with big wins over Plant Robinson and IMG. Anytime you can take down a school, Andrick, that doesn't have to play by FHSA rules, it's always a good feather in the cap.
Helping these young men build some confidence. What these tournament plays really are all about. I mean, you're trying to simulate what you're going to experience in the district tournament, the state championship, the ability to be able to win games in 2 and 3 days. Hoist a trophy when it's all said and done.
Jesuit now working inside. Christian Whidden spins, left it short. This young man right here with the basketball, I think, has been the MVP of this game. Even though I know he's not the high scorer, but he has done a spectacular job getting players the basketball in the perfect spots.
Well, controlling the tempo of the game, getting his teammates involved. I mean, again, everyone knows all eyes on Jawan Durham, but he's the one that got Friedel going early.
Now Adam Check leaves it for Darce. Should Jesuit be playing at a more frantic pace here?
They're going to have to do something with 5 minutes left in this game. Again, Tampa Prep has not turned the ball over a lot. Here you see a foul drawn by Darce.
And Taz Strauss going to be whistled. It's going to give Darce 3 free throws. So Jesuit with a chance to get points with the clock stopped.
Well, Taz Strauss here caught closing out, and you do have to give the shooter an opportunity to land.
Daniel Darce had a big 24-point game against Robinson. When you look at his frame, he's about 6'5". Only goes about 165 pounds though. Not a lot of weight to throw around.
No, but he does have the ability to shoot the basketball, and he's a very cerebral player.
What do you think about maybe putting him on my diet?
Do you want me to go from 160 to 260?
That would be excessive. Daniel Darce mentioned his older brother Andrew, who was a star back in '07. Now Andrew, an assistant coach with a junior varsity team at Jesuit.
Making it a family affair. Jesuit here putting on some full court pressure. See a little man-to-man defense. Coach Phelan taking a 20-second timeout.
Tigers aren't losing any fight whatsoever. Let's take a look now at the Bright House Sports Network Top 10 poll. Best teams in the Tampa Bay area. Berkeley Prep right now at top of the land at 14-0, the exact same record they got to last year. Gibbs right behind, number 2. Tampa Catholic, Largo, Kathleen, Wharton, Tampa Prep, St. Pete, Palmetto, and Mitchell. Anything you want to point out looking at this graphic?
Well, I will say this. I mean, and I've heard this from several people, not only here in Hillsborough County, but also Polk and Orange. St. Pete is a ball club that you're going to have to look for come the second half of this season. They have a very good nucleus. Coach Blackwell has those kids playing hard. There are going to be a lot of teams who do not want to face St. Pete come February. Also, nice to see Kathleen making a resurrection into the top 10.
Absolutely. Your good friend, Tony Longa, head coach of the Red Devils. Always fun to watch his teams year in and year out. Now a little pressure from the Tigers. Wasser's had everything under control all night long. Now they're going to get Riveros on the reach-in. See the new rule in college basketball this year, Andrew, about hand checking. They've really cracked down on it this season.
Really have, it makes defenders, such as myself, Drew, back in the day, very hard to defend.
Oh, here's the steal. Adejamobi comes away with it. Now Riveros, and he scores. Lead cut to 7.
If you talk to Coach Phelan, the one thing he is concerned about with this ball club is their ability to handle pressure.
Another concern is rebounding, but Tampa Prep's done a solid job with that here tonight. As they're going to get Fenlon on the arm of Durham, and this should be a 1-and-1 shooting situation.
It all comes down to knocking down free throws, and Terrapins, talk about that Tampa Catholic game they lost in overtime. Their inability to make free throws in the fourth quarter cost them a win.
Durham misses the front end. Jesuit with a good opportunity here to get the closest they've been since midway through the second quarter. Darce, can he come through here? Pass tipped away out of Jamobi. Wild circus shot. Durham able to rip it down. Juwan Durham struggling offensively. He's got 7 rebounds on the other side.
Jesuit getting the shots they want offensively, not finding a way to convert. First possession, we've seen Jesuit in man-to-man and actually a run and jump man-to-man.
Here comes the trap and a timeout called by Coach Fenlon. We got a fun slate of basketball games coming your way here on Bright House Sports Network. It's going to be a fun January. Deltona battles Mainland. That's January 8th at 7 o'clock. And the very next night, Newsom and Bloomingdale. Can't wait for that one on a Thursday. Dr. Phillips battles OCP. Boone and Lake Highland Prep and Oviedo First Academy. That's the showdown in O-Town.
Very action-packed week ahead for those high school basketball enthusiasts.
Coach Goldman said, I love coaching this particular team. Even though it's a complete rebuilding job, he says these guys are a bunch of grinders. They've made this season fun, even though it has been a complete rebuilding job. Durham was calling for it. They couldn't hit him. And now Jesuit will ramp up the pressure. Durham from the baseline, left it short, now puts it in.
One thing you can't coach is length, and even though he has not had a great offensive night, sticking with the shot and collecting his 8th rebound for the putback.
This is a three-pointer. Brett Finland, a little bit too strong. And the little guy, Goldburn's, played a pesky ball game for the Terrapins. Now he's going to get fouled, and the crowd doesn't like that one either.
Goldburn doing a good job of being strong with the basketball, but you want to gather it and outlet it quickly. Also has the ability to put the basketball on the floor.
So Amari Goldburn now steps to the line. This young man is only a 9th grader. Got to play a ton on the AAU circuit this summer. After Yanni Wasser graduates at the end of the year, this guy could be the next Andrick Frazier.
I don't think he wants to be sitting next to you, Drew. Coach Finland definitely has some young pieces of the puzzle. Juwan Durham, only a sophomore. Amari Goldburn. You also have Tyson Ward, who's another sophomore, not getting any playing time tonight, but he's another young player that Coach Finland is pretty high on.
12 points for Amari Goldburn. Now Daniel Darce trying to penetrate. Couldn't get it to fall. And another offensive lull for Jesuit. They've had good opportunities to close in that lead, but on key possessions have come up empty. Durham wanted it and scores along the baseline. 7 points, 9 rebounds for the big man.
You can see why Jesuit wanted to play that 2-3 zone and really pack things in. Now they're getting spread out defensively. It's leaving more opportunities for Mr. Durham.
Oh, if he had shaken free there, the roof would have been blown off this place. 23 was headed the other way, and he was going to take down the rim.
Here's Juwan Durham catching the ball on the baseline with a one-dribble close-off.
I think he wants the ball a little bit more, would you say?
I mean, he's having a tough night offensively. I mean, it's one of those things where you're used to stuffing the stat sheet and you can't get things going offensively. You want the basketball and you want to score. He is such a good teammate. You haven't seen him hanging his head. He's been still doing a good job on the defensive end. Most important thing about this young man is that he wants to win.
Well, it really says something when your best player has a subpar offensive night and still the lead is 15 points. Adam check. This is a long shot. Just fired that one from 30 feet. Adam check will take a break. Little quickie inside. Christian Witten scores. He's got a timeout on the floor.
Here a 13-point lead, a minute 41 left. Expect some full court pressure. Jesuits in the situation they're going to have to foul. Tampa Prep will be in the double bonus this point forward.
So the Jesuit Tigers in one game this year shot 40 three-pointers. This team likes to let it fly. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Jesuit as they stare at Robinson in 3 days. Then that big showdown with Tampa Catholic. They do it 2 times every year, and that is a fun game to be a part of. Then they've got Middleton and Mitchell. They'll play Mitchell on January 18th. How about Tampa Catholic with a strong showing here as well? They played Ransom Everglades before this game here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When you have Mr. Shavarsky Corbett on your ball club, his ability to shoot the basketball as soon as he walks in the gym and, you know, put up 30 to 40 points at any given night, it really puts you in favor. But, I mean, the other piece is, you know, the coming of Thomas DeZago. He's a sophomore now. Kind of saw his coming out party last year in that Jesuit game. And offensively, it's a team that wants to shoot a lot of threes. And when they're making shots, they're tough to beat.
Here's the steal out of Jamobi. Gets it to Darce. And a foul called on the floor.
Noni Wash on that possession, making the Cardinals seem when you're inbounding the basketball against full court pressure, you do not want to pass the basketball in the corner, especially the short side corner.
Seconds to play in this basketball game. Tampa Prep has led for pretty much the entire way. Adam check shot didn't fall. Wasser runs it down. And now numbers for the Terrapins. Durham underneath. They'll stay with Tampa Prep. Daniel Darce has played well for Jesuit, but just not enough offensive production from the Tigers tonight.
Going to have to think about fouling.
Durham. There's a foul. Darst whistle.
See Fadella here with the drop-off pass to Durham, and thought Darst did a good job of being active defensively.
Juwan Durham, he's got 10 tonight, half his average. Darce wasn't looking for it, and a Jesuit turnover.
Jesuit had their opportunities in this basketball game. I thought to cut into the lead and offensively just couldn't knock down those big shots.
Here's Fradella. Under a minute to play. Fenlon tried to turn and hand it to Whitnick, was poked away. The long arms of Durham really controlling the paint.
just been a distraction all night long on the defensive end for the Tigers.
Yanni Wasser to the line. 4-year varsity player for Tampa Prep. A solid game tonight. And for the past 3 seasons, this young man basically, as Coach Fenlon likes to put it, was carrying the bags of Josh Heath. He barely got any varsity time because Heath was such a mainstay. Now he's got the keys to the offense.
I see it more as a point guard in training. When you have an opportunity to practice against a guy like Josh Heath, he and Josh were pretty good friends as well. So have an opportunity to learn, from one of the best point guards in Tampa Prep history, has put him in a situation now where they are his keys. He's doing a good job of driving this machine.
Durham just denies that one as Adamczyk wanted a foul. Doesn't matter at this point. Tampa Prep is going to cruise to their 12th win of the season. The Terrapins have waited a long time to say that they beat the Jesuit Tigers. Tonight, that is the case. 56-40, Tampa Prep over Jesuit. And when we return, we will award our FBC Mortgage Player of the Game and wrap this one up from the Berkeley Prep Invitational in Tampa. Well, game 1 of 2 is in the books from the Berkeley Prep Invitational, 56-40. It's the Terrapins over the Tigers tonight on Bright House Sports Network. As joining us in the booth, our FBC Mortgage Player of the Game, Michael Fredella. Congratulations, a great performance from you. Offensively, you just had it clicking all night. What was going on out there?
It was a team effort. Everyone was hitting their shots. Everyone was doing their part. There's nothing anyone could do on their own. It was a huge victory. Nothing we could have done by ourselves.
Michael, talk a little bit about the transition. I mean, we know there are a lot of pieces missing off the team from last year, and then you were a new addition this year and expected to play a key role. How's the transition been thus far?
I love it. Coach Fenlon's done a great job. I feel like I've been there for 4 years. It's a great school.
And you transferred from St. Pete Catholic as well, so you came into this program, kind of didn't know what to expect. How has it gone so far, learning the offense, learning your teammates, and basically learning a new position?
It's been really easy, except it took me a little bit to get used to playing shooting guard from point guard, but it's pretty easy. I played them over summer league and got used to it really fast. One
final question. The big man didn't have his usual offensive night, but everybody else picked up the slack.
Yeah, he's an amazing player. It's an honor to be playing with him. He's one of the best players I've ever played with, probably the best player I've ever played with. And he has great nights pretty much every night. He has an off night once. Everyone else has to pick it up.
All right, Michael Fredella, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, great job tonight on Bright House Sports Network. 56-40. Andrick, final thoughts from the Berkeley Prep Invitational in our first game here on Bright House Sports Network.
Well, it's one of those things, Drew. We've been waiting to see Tampa Prep and Jesuit come together, for some time now. And unfortunately for us, we would have loved to do the game last year, but I think both of these ball teams have an opportunity to play in the state tournament. I think we'll see both teams there. I mean, Jesuit has some things they can definitely work on. They have some good young pieces. We know Tampa Prep's really going to be all about Juwan Durham and how far can he carry this ball club.
All right, Tampa Prep victorious tonight over Jesuit by 16. The Tigers still very much a work in progress. Still more basketball to come here tonight from Berkeley Prep as Lake Highland Prep takes on the Buccaneers later on Bright House Sports Network. But for right now, it's all Terrapins. There's your final score for Andrick Frazier, the rest of the Bright House crew, and producer Chris McCulley. I'm Drew Felios. We'll see you coming up in about 35 minutes here on Bright House Sports Network for the second game in this Berkeley Prep Invitational. Till then, so long from Tampa.